Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale. And we are on. And we are on another Wednesday afternoon. Now, what's up, y'all? What's happening? I got to sing right now, man. I'm wearing blue today because I'm down. I'm feeling the blues today. Oh, man, I thought the country was going to be blue today, but it ain't. But what's going on, Crystal the Poet? But I'm not about to sit up here and hold y'all up and talk about, the debauchery of what happened in the country last night. I'm not going to do that to y'all. That's not my style. I'm not going to make that happen like that. What's going on with you? But everybody had their own opinions because, y'all know it's two things that 360 don't really openly discuss in the public. What's going on to Code 56? That's my number one neighbor in the world. But two things I don't really discuss when we in a public forum, and that's politics and religion, because no matter what stance you take on the other side of it, it's going to be somebody to say, I hate you for how you stand. So I just like to keep love going, let love be love, and continue to spread love and receive that same type of thing. So, but you know what we had? We're on the number one spot. What's going on, Mrs. Contreras? Get you on from the start. But you know what we doing out here in these things? We at the number one online or in-person advice column called Holla at the Homie. And I am the homie, 360 the poet. That's THAPOET. What's up, Sapphire Gardner? What up, Doe from the D? Hitting me all the way up from the Murder Mitten up in this thing. Right around here. That's where she from, right around there in the thumb area. You know what I'm talking about? 313 stand up. That's where my homegirl been down for 20 plus years. Barbara Gigs, man, when I touch down in LA, I need one of them cuts, dog. But either from you or from your brother. But y'all can't be charging me no $100. I ain't paying no $100 for no cut, man. I know y'all do celebrity cuts, but I've been with you since you was cutting in the kitchen, so I ain't trying to do no $100 haircut. We'll talk numbers, but I ain't doing no triple digit for no haircut. I love you, but I'm glad you making your money. But I ain't give you that much, bro, but I need one of them cold-ass cuts. Already, that's what I'm talking about. What's up, Dakari Kofi in the place to be? Standing up down there from the Shy all the way to the 615. But yeah, we got a good one on the line today. Y'all know what we do here. We give advice. I never tell people what to do. I just give you options of what can be done, right? People send me in letters to hollaatthehomie@gmail.com, or sometimes people text me, those that know my phone number, or sometimes people send it to the DMs on Instagram or on Facebook. So however I get the letter from you, you know what I mean? So I'm going to make that happen for you. I'm going to bring it on here. I'm going to dissect it before I bring it on, and I'm going to have some notes written down to kind of give you a little bit back of what I've done, because I've never been trained in any way, shape, form, or fashion in psychology, psychiatry, or any type of counseling. But what I have done is lived a very colorful life, and that's not just my wardrobe I speak about. I'm talking about I've lived a life that's been around bent a bunch of corners. And if I haven't lived it, I've been close enough to some people to sponge that game up from them and be able to ring it back out to y'all and give y'all these what y'all looking for. Cali Twin in the building. What's up, Jason? The place. Tell my boys Roman and my boy dog Kai. Kai got that cut, man. He looking just like you now, Jace, man. That's crazy, bro. But yeah, we got a good one on here today. We talking about inheritance and we talking about things like that. You know, we got a letter from somebody called Suddenly Stacked and Stressed who's coming to us with like they got a serious inheritance. What's up, Double J? Jay Castillo in the building. I don't know if you work tonight, but if you don't, I'm gonna see you tomorrow, bro. But they wrestling with the balance between staying private and staying true to their relationships and things of that nature, right? So we're not going to, you know, they're trying to keep from getting taken advantage of. That's what the basis of this whole thing is, right? Now, how do you handle situations when you happen to come up, excuse me, you happen to come up and you don't want to get taken advantage of after your come up, after your blow up, right? You know, when people with you during the grow up, the blow up is just a glow up for everybody that's around. But when you just happen to blow up out of anywhere, financially, socially, however it may be, you don't want people that's just there just to take the ride to be able to stay on and hold on with you. So sometimes people keep things to themselves, keep it closer to the vest, you know? So we're going to dive into Suddenly Stacked and what do you say? Suddenly Stacked and Stressed. We're going to dive straight into his letter. You know what? I can't say his or her because, again, like this been another ambiguous person, and they didn't give me their handle. So that I don't know if they checking in here or not. Because over here on Facebook, I can kind of see who's checking in as they come on Facebook, too. But I haven't seen anybody with any particular new handles. But here it is. Dear Holla at the Homie, I'm in a situation that sounds like a dream come true, but it's honestly giving me anxiety. I recently inherited a significant amount of money from a relative, and I haven't told anyone in my life about it. Not my family, not my closest friends, not even my partner. At first, I thought I was just letting it take time to let it sink in, but now I realize that I'm keeping it quiet for a reason. I don't know who to trust with this information. Here's the thing. Over the past few years, I've noticed some folks in my life acting ... different. There's been a lot of, hey, can you cover this? And I'll pay you back later. And that never comes. Or people hitting me up when they need something. It's had me questioning my relationships. And now I worry that if I tell them I got this money, it's only going to get worse. I'm afraid of being guilted into sharing it or even being judged if I choose not to. Now, I want to make smart choices with my inheritance and, if anything, improve my life quietly and without all the drama. But I don't want to lose friends, come off as stingy, or look like I'm hiding things from people that I care about. And I'm also nervous that by not telling anyone, I'm creating a secret that could lead to other problems down the line. Now, 360, help me. How do I handle this? How do I protect myself and my relationships while also protecting and keeping my peace? Sincerely, Suddenly Stacked and Stressed. Woo! What's up, Lucy Lowe? Over there catching flights, not feelings. What'd you say, Miss Contreras? Invest. That's right. There's a lot of ways you can try to make that money count. But we trying to deal with, like, how do they keep it from people? Like, how do you let people know that you got this bread out of nowhere? You know what I mean? Like, because it says you ain't tell your family. So it must be, you must have some family that really is not connected with the other side of the family because you say you got an inheritance from a relative, So maybe the family didn't know that you were the one who got that inheritance because they may know everybody in the family. So if they're in your same family, they know somebody didn't die. But they may not know you got that bread. So I'm kind of wondering and juggling, trying to figure out how I was looking at this, like, how does this person keep it from family and friends, especially when it's, something people that want to keep close to the vest. He said, he or she, let me get that correct. He or she said that they inherited a significant amount of money. So that lets me know. Would you say you be quiet as a church mouse, Lucy? Look, I'm kind of with that too. Real G's moving silence like lasagna. You know what I mean? That wasn't just a rap lyric. That's a real life quote from people that mean real G's moving silence like lasagna. It's not lasagna. No, it's lasagna. Where the G at? He in there somewhere moving silently amongst that ricotta cheese and layers of pasta. You dig? So, but one thing about it is now, you feeling stressed. I get that. And I see that inherited this money. It's no small thing. I said that. It's not a small thing that you inherited such a significant amount of money, but it's okay to be both, we'll say, gracious or grateful and cautious. So I guess that's what you mean by being gracious. If you're being grateful and cautious, you being gracious. You know what I mean? What's up, Logan's hero in the building? What's up, dog? I ain't talked to you in a minute, man. Let's go swing them sticks in a minute, bro. As soon as I come to Cali, you come out here to Vegas. But yeah, so it's like that, right? So let's break it down. I always like to dissect it. What you say, Kevin Davis? The hardest thing to do is control your own mouth. If you keep your mouth shut, you won't have anyone else to blame for their reaction. Hey, if the truth hurt, say ouch, Kevin. If the truth hurt, tell them say ouch. The hardest thing in the world to control is your own mouth. You heard him say that, is your own mouth. Ms. Contreras, you say buy an investment property for retirement and live happily ever after. There it is, too. I mean, even though the market is a seller's market right now, if you got an insignificant amount, if they selling, you can be buying. You know what I mean? And that will be a way that you can kind of make sure that's an investment home. You can't rent it out in some places. You say, ouch, Kevin. If you can't rent it out, to be a rental property in some places based off some things without living in it for a year or so, but be in a position to be ready to make that an investment house or turn it into something for the state to have, as they can use it as something that you can, pretty much get that thing taken care of eternally. What's going on, B Black 9303? What's going on, BZB? Ain't talked to you in a minute, home girl. But yeah, so that's another way. You can invest. You can keep. It's hard to keep your own mouth shut because you know what they say back in the day, that money burning a hole in your pocket. Remember that? If you never heard that before, then you ain't grew up around no black parents or grandparents, because they'll tell you in a second, like, that money burning a hole in your pocket. Would you say make them take a financial literacy class or course, or once completed, give them what you believe is fair and not anymore? After, hey, you know what? Because I talk about later on about getting a financial advisor. But that right there, JJ, that's a word, bruh. My brother JJ over J Castillo over here on Instagram told me, he said, make the people who you want to give this bread to or who you think gonna be asking for this bread, have them take a financial literacy course. Right? Make them, take a course to where that they going to learn how to do what they need and supposed to do with that bread. And then you give them a significant amount, he says. Give them what you feel like you were going to give them and let them free. Take the bird, let them learn how to fly, and then let them free. Fix that wing and let them free. And then it's up to them. They can't come back to you again for any more because you didn't only give them a fish, you taught them how to fish. You know what the old saying is, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. So if you break somebody off, 100,000, you know what I mean? You feed them right then. But if you teach somebody what to do with, if they in the chance got 100,000 in their pocket, and then once they completed that learning time, you give them that 100,000, then now you are free and clear on any responsibility on what they do from their own. That is an excellent point. What'd you say, Dakari Kofi? You say, so blessed you have a financial blessing and nobody knows. Invest, live debt-free, and help family and friends when needed. Hey, that's another way. Like we say, real G's move in silence like lasagna. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got to sit quietly. You got to sit on that information sometimes. What's going on, KK? Christy Kinchelo in the building. What up, fam? So you got to look at it in a lot of different angles. Again, I like to look at things like the eye of a fly. If anybody's ever seen what the eye of a fly looks like, it gives so many different angles of the same direction, right? The fly's eye is a miraculous work of the creator. That's why they're able to move out your way so fast. They change direction ew. You think Reggie Bush had jukes. Try to swat away a fly that's messing with you. Oh, man, he wants some of that barbecue. Try to swat away a fly. So I try to look at things with the eye of a fly. So many different directions I can look at this from the same eye, right? So that is another way. Teach them how to use that money. After that, like you say, Dakari, hold on first yourself. And with that, Dakari Kofi, do what JJ said for yourself. Take your own financial literacy course. So now that'll help you understand what to do with this bread. Like, dang, I really can't be giving it out to my family like that, because according to what I just learned on how to keep it and what I learned on how to make it grow, that doesn't populate into the formula. That algorithm don't fit, does not compute. You understand what I'm saying? So you yourself need to be learned in that financial arena before you go start. You get $1 million. You get $1 million. Like I said, I don't know how much money you got. What's going on, MSD.com? What's going on, Steph? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what kind of money you might have inherited. You know, if you say a significant amount, I'm thinking, 7-8 figures. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 7-8. Because, if you just got a $50,000 check and you think that's about to make people change on you, just think again, bro. 50,000 don't go as far as it used to. So I'm just saying, I'm hoping you got 7-8 figure check, what we talking about here from your family. You know what I mean? What's going on, Mr. Kevin over here on IG? He popped on the other side of the thing. So it's like, it's a significant amount if you say it is. So now you must learn yourself what to do and how to do with that bread, right? But first things you got to do is trust your instincts. You know what I mean? You say the way my account is set up, I can't help. Hey, I get that. Sometimes you got to tell people the way, I got to check it in the savings, and you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to check it in the savings. I got to check to see what my savings going to be. You understand what I'm saying? Before I get to cutting checks for your savings. What'd you say, Monte Hadley? Invest in family trust with stipulations. And he put that in all caps. See, that's what I'm saying. He's somebody who'd have been to a financial literacy course, or probably somebody who can teach it. That's my dog, Monte Hadley. Bloody B.O. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like, you got to look at this thing. Like he said, invest with some stipulations in this family trust. Like, it's got to have stipulations like, you can't touch this until you blank. That's like signing a contract in the NFL or the NBA. Sometimes they have like incentives built within the contract. Yeah, they're going to give you this $100 million, but you have to do this and this and this in order for this amount of that $100 million to be coming to you. You're going to get some of it guaranteed, but the rest of it is incentivized. So if you're going to invest into these family trusts, make sure it's stipulations on it or incentivized. Give people motivation to make that money do what it's supposed to do in their arena, how they can use it, right? That's what you got to look at it like. But, trust your instincts. If you feel people moving different, they moving funny, then, maybe that's because deep down, you're not ready for the reaction that you might get if you tell them you got this bread. What's up, Professor Tiff? Got principals on the line up in this thing. Now, it's the principalities, not that. I'm talking about real teacher to assistant to real principal. She probably about to be superintendent. What's going on, Professor Tiff? You know what I'm saying? Representing I ain't going to tell everybody your business, because they be looking at you. They be like, oh, let me invest in her. I'm just saying, what's up to you, my sister? But you know what I'm saying? So you got to trust your instincts. You know what I mean? Because the first thing you got to think about, your first responsibility when you get this money is yourself. You your first responsibility. What that look like? You know what I mean? What that look like? You go take care of everybody else. You go take care of everybody else before you give yourself a chance to really and let it sink in, right? What you said about wanting to improve your quality of life quietly. See, you put that in parentheses. I mean, you know what I mean? In air quotes. You want to improve your life quietly. That means you're going to bubble slow. You're going to bubble slow, and then you can, once you bubble slow, then nobody really knows. Nobody paying attention because the pot top not coming off. I'm talking in culinary terms. You cooking some rice, right? And you got that rice turned up too high. That pot top going to come off. It's going to be stuff spilling all over. I mean, your money going to be getting wasted. People going to be all in your business. People that you don't know need to be in your business. But if you bubble slow and you cook that rice slow, every kernel gonna get taken care of. Everybody who's interwoven within your circle, within your pot of people, will be taken care of, because you now are what? You learning how to use that money. You learning what to do with that money. You putting them in positions to learn how to use that money. And now you still sitting quietly though. You sitting quietly. People like, why you moving like this? Like, you still ain't told them nothing. You ain't told them a thing. You taking the class, they taking the class. Be like, hey, you know what? I think, just in case we ever come into some bread, I ran across these classes. It was nothing. You can actually pay for them. You know what I mean? Pay for the classes. and be like, yeah, I ran across this special. They was doing something in my job. Or, I ran it online. Temu had a special. And I figured we just all go. Y'all want to go with me? Or, you can pick your days where you can go, to fit in your schedule, but it's already paid for. It's already taken care of. The bill has already been footed, right? So you can do that and you still bubbling slow, not even telling them a word about these millions that you're sitting on. This 7-8 figures that you sitting on. You ain't said a word. And that's good. That's how you should move in that arena. If you got a significant amount of money, you don't want everybody to know that anyway. I speak from experience on that. Licks present themselves. People get you because you allow yourself to be seen as a target. Somebody sees you as a mark in some arena. You say, why you got to tell them no? You don't have to tell them. You don't have to tell them a thing. Like who was that said it over here? Dakari Kofi over here on Facebook said, he said, you ain't got to tell them a thing. Just invest in people and help people out when it's needed. They ain't got to know you sitting on anything. That's one way to take it. But then again, like we also talked about how JJ said, give them some classes, put them in class, teach them how to learn and use how that money if they ever come into it. And then one day, if you want to give them that financial blessing, you be like, man, check your Zelle, man. Check your Zelle in 30 minutes. And they'll be like, you know what I mean? They waiting on that text. Especially if you saying they always got most of the people you talking about got their hands out already. They waiting on you to just give them something without having to ask for it. Oh, man, listen. They waiting on that. They be like, oh, yeah? They tick-tock. I ain't got no text yet, man. You sure you sent that? They going to be on your head. They going to be on your head. But again, trust your instincts. Know that your first responsibility is you. Learn how to use that money to your advantage. Learn how to use that money. Learn how to teach other people how to use their money. What's going on, B. Townley? What's that? I still got to get down there to see you at the new gig, my girl. But we're going to figure it out. You're going to let me know your schedule in a minute. But you got to look at these things like this. Like, you don't have to tell anybody anything. You don't have to confide in them and say, hey, I got this little piece of change and I'm going to give you some, but I need you to take this class first. You ain't got to tell them none of that. Like I said, you can surprise them with the class. Or be like, hey, y'all saw this thing, man. If y'all want to go, let me know. I want to try to get these tickets for us. They be like, okay, we'll pay you back. If they always saying we'll pay you back. And let them, and see if they pay you back for real. You can tell them it's a little, they $39.99, man. $39.99 for this investment course. And see if they give you that $40 back. And if they give you that $40 back on this $500 course that you just paid for them for, then they trill with it. They real with it. They may Zelle you that same thing that I'm talking about. And you're going to turn around and tell them, check they Zelle. I'm going to send you that $40 back. I'm going to send you that $40 back. I'm going to tell you what that $40 did in this investment. I used that $40 to pay for an investment. And here you go. It go $100,000 off $40. You know what I mean? Whatever you gonna give them, But again, you've trusted your instincts. You've taught them and learned them, and you've learned yourself how to utilize that money in the best advantage. Your first representation, your first responsibility is you. You should be able to do this without feeling any guilt. You should never feel guilty about, oh man, I should have never, I should have been able to tell them. I should have been able to confide in them. Like, you got your reasons for feeling the way you feel. Don't be afraid of the way you feel. I got a whole, don't get me started on that. I got a whole poem / for that one. But don't be afraid of the way you feel. Don't trust your gut. Your gut tell you what's what. You feel me? Your gut tell you what's what. I got bars all day this morning. I should have been on stage for campaigning. Don't get me started on that edge. But let's talk a little bit about the people around you, right? Because you emphasized in your letter, you said you don't want to, feel like, you keeping things or hiding things from people that you care about. So you said right here, you said in your letter that you care about them. I highlighted it. You said right here in your letter that you care. That's what you said, Frank. That's what you said. You said you care about them, right? So let's talk about the people in your life, right? The people that are around you. You've noticed this pattern has been coming, when they need something and they're not showing up otherwise, because these are the ones who I don't think it's the ones who you hold the nearest and dearest. So those ones probably already know you got some bread. But the ones that's kind of like loved one adjacent, but people who you still got on your team, like people that's under contract, but they just, they on the practice squad. You understand what I'm saying? They're on the practice squad of your friends and family. It's okay to put some family on the practice squad. They got to get their weight up. They ain't on the 53-man roster right now. So sometimes they're on the practice squad, but they still there. They still a part of the team, right? So you thinking about these people who only come around when they need something, and they really not showing up at any other time, right? But that's your cue. That's a cue for you, the person who's recognizing and realizing this, to look at all these relationships through a different lens. Remember I said before, I like to look at things like through the eye of a fly. You got to look at it through a different one of those lenses. Look through a different lens. Clean your glasses metaphorically in regards to these people in your life, right? Wipe them off, microfiber them instead of using your T-shirt. Get them really clean, look through a different lens at people, Think about who's there because they value you and who's there because they think of what you can give them. To some people, you're valuable and some people value you. You see, same root word, not the same ending. Some people value you, meaning they are appreciative. They cherish, and it's probably reciprocal. They value you based off just simply who you are. Some people think you are valuable to them based off because they can get something from you. So then that's where you at now with it. You got to look at these people that are around you and see if they need to stay on the team. Are they worthy of staying on the team? Like, how do you decipher on when to cut somebody from the team? Use this as an opportunity to put some boundaries in place. This is when you can really start building the walls and the foundation of the house that represents you. Like everybody got different corners that they turn in their world, right? But it's all what you build. They say your foundation, right? So what is in the house that you build? Like, you are a house, a vessel, yourself, who you letting in your doors. Now you can put up boundaries where people got to go through the ring cam to get in. You got to look at them again through a different lens before you let them back in your house. You moving on up, George and Wheezy. So everybody don't need to be in your crib like that, metaphorically or literally. They don't. Everybody not welcome. Some people don't like to take their shoes off when they come in the house. They want to bring all they dirt that they've collected with themselves into your space. And you allow it, or you don't. You tell people, hey, you see all them pairs of shoes by the door? That ain't because that's my other closet. That's because that's where I pick up shoes before I go out, because that's where I put them back when I come in. Do you see the shoes you see outside shoes on my feet? No. See some house shoes. See some slides. You know what I'm saying? If your feet ugly and all that kind of stuff, I keep fresh packs of socks. Keep them. You can have the pair. Yours. Because I ain't taking them back. If your feet messed up, I definitely ain't taking them back. I ain't taking them back anyway. You can have the prettiest feet in the world. You know what I mean? So you got to look at the people around you. Are they the type that want to bring their dirt, to bring their trash, to bring their anchors with them into your house? But no, you got a chance to set boundaries at this point. Not because you're, hoarding the money, or not because you're protecting your peace. It is because you're protecting your peace, not because you're hoarding the money. That's what I was trying to say. You're making sure that you have the peace of mind to be able to maneuver properly through the right channels to handle this bread yourself. Because I tell you all the time, when you point the finger at somebody, like you did this, it's three fingers pointing right back to you. And that means me, myself, and I. That's how those three people are involved in this. That's how I got in this mix. Me, myself, and I. I'm partially responsible. You may have been the person to push the domino over or to fumble the ball, but I'm the one that handed it to you. So I'm still in it somehow. I can't be like, oh, it's guesswork. How am I involved in this? I know exactly how I'm involved in this. Duh. You know, so think about that before you start deciding on what you're going to do with this bread. Before you start saying like, oh, man, I'm just going to give Ray his piece, man. I don't want to hear nobody's mouth. Like, forget hearing their mouth. So, they got something to say, and if you sit silent, they wouldn't know anyway. So what if you don't tell nobody? I know you want to glow up. I know you want to do your thing, because if it's a significant amount of money, your life and lifestyle is going to improve. Your tax bracket has most likely changed now. You know, everybody be like, oh, you know, I ain't gonna try to leave where, you know, my roots, where I came from. When I get rich, you better. Don't leave them behind, but you better leave them there while you go where you supposed to be, because everybody not happy for you as you are. So you can't continue to dwell where the people don't wish you well. You can't continue to do that to yourself. So now what you going to do with this money? You're going to invest in these and make some investments and family trusts with stipulations. You're going to, you know, invest in how you need to do it. You're going to hold on to it. You're going to treat people when they need to be treated with it, when they may need it. You can sit silently with it. Like I said, I'm never telling you what to do. I'm just giving you options of what can be done. There's a multitude of things that can be done, especially with a significant amount of money. We had Mrs. Contreras on there talking about get an investment property and now live happily ever after. I got a family member now. I'm trying to get to sell their crib one place, you know, move to another place, live happily ever after, and be sitting on a couple $100,000. But again, now that I was sitting and listening to JJ, now I got to think about what type of investment classes that we can take together. That's what I'm looking at. Because everybody doesn't take you guiding them like, okay, now go on, do this now. Everybody doesn't take that the same way. So if we going together, come on, let's go. We doing this together. What's up, McFadden Amber? Long time no see, home girl. But like, that's what we doing. We moving forward together. If you care about these people, you will want them to move forward with you, right? At least that's what I'm thinking. The people I care about, I want them to move forward. I put up a meme the other day. A bunch of people been putting it up too. They probably got from the same place I did. Lord, when you take care of me, take care of those who looked out for me too when I was down. You know what I mean? When I was down, there was some people that looked out. And you put in my life to look out. So when you lift me up, lift them up too. So you want everybody to come along. Would you say, Ms. Contreras, in this day is uncertain time, a must invest while you can? Yeah, you must invest. Like the stock market, because of yesterday, went bananas. Bananas. If you got any type of crypto, that thing was through the roof. I would have sold today. I would have sold today. No lie. Yeah. Depending on how much I had. You know, and I'm not doing this show because I didn't got him up for no money. So don't be nobody out there thinking that this is me talking about I ain't got no money. And I'm just sitting here quietly. I ain't got no money, dog. I ain't even got no inheritances. What's going on, SLJ? You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got none of that. So it's not me. I'm telling you, I'm reading the letter. It's been Google emailed to me. So to holla at the homie at gmail.com. So y'all can do the same if you got questions. You know, that's the real spits, you know? So like, you know, we talked about a few different things about trusting your instincts. We talked about, you know, making sure that you're your first priority. We talked about getting financial literacy. We talked about bubbling quietly and not feeling guilty about doing as such. We talked about those things. We talked about putting boundaries in place. But one thing I got to tell you is you're not obligated to share your money. Let's start there. Let's start right there. Who said that you have to share? Now, you may have a feeling on the inside like, man, listen. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like we said, if you've been blessed, it's for a reason that you were blessed. That don't mean that your blessing got to bless everybody else at the moment. You can do it when you choose to do it. When the Spirit moves you, when the Lord puts it on your heart to do it, then those questions won't be deniable. You're going to do it because it was on your heart to do it. You feel me? Like, some people, I know diabetics that don't even eat cookies, but they see the little Girl Scouts outside, they buy 5, 10 boxes. What's going on, Miss Mahogany 80? You know what I mean? But they do it just because they feel good for the kids. What's up, Cali _babe 143? So that's the question we ask ourselves. Like, I'm not going to feel guilty because I'm not obligated to share this money. That's what you got to tell yourself. You're not obligated to share. And the people who truly have your back won't expect you to share this information. They won't be like, you know what I mean? They won't be like, hey, man, why you ain't tell me nothing? If they really rock with you and they got your back like that, they can be like, I completely understand why you did that. I get that. And if you're thinking ahead to how they might react, remember that the ones who respect your boundaries will understand your boundaries. Hello, McFly. They might even surprise you in some certain ways. Like, they may show you in a way like, they ain't expecting nothing in their bank account. They just big up in you. They may show you some ways like, let me show you how to move this money, bro. I don't want nothing. I'm not asking you for nothing, but I know how to make this thing. This is what I do. We're in my arena, They may have read something that got you right on point based off what you got, but they give you the opportunity to read it. You ain't got to move and be like, let me get this quick scheme. Nah. You got the opportunity to read the same thing they may have read. But at the same time, they may surprise you by not even trying to get any of your money into their bank account. But again, if they rock with you like that, if they your friends, if they your family like that, if they in your corner, they won't trip off your boundaries. They'll just understand them. What'd you say, Miss Mahogany? You're not telling nobody nothing? And Cali _babe said that part. And I feel you. You know what I mean? You don't, because again, you're not obligated to share anything with anybody, And don't get me wrong, it's a practical side to all of this too. If you want to keep things quiet, but, make some moves, you can, like I said, bring in that financial advisor. Bring in somebody who know how to move that money while you sitting quietly. Somebody who has the knowledge and experience to help you handle this in the best way possible. Also, I spoke with, I was speaking with Maya earlier, and she was talking about, like, bringing a lawyer too. You know what I'm saying? Because the financial advisor may just be doing something that's going to help his bread get some bread, but a lawyer going to be looking at your stuff like, okay, this contractually obligated. You're not specifically obligated to do this, but this is where we at with it. Keep them on retainer. If you got that money like that, get you one of them for sure. But make sure it's the right type of lawyer. Don't go get you a divorce lawyer to handle your finances. What'd you say, Dakari? Just keep it simple. Family members going to college, you help them. Friends starting a good business, invest in them. Be smart. Help family and friends. Don't just give it away. More righteous and smart. Move righteously and smart. That's a good way. Righteously and smart. The biggest word you said right there is smart. Because when people move from the heart, we hoping that it's righteous. But we got to use our heart and our brain connected together. We got to be smart and not just from the heart. But that's an excellent point, Dakari. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep it simple. Keep it quiet. Somebody going to college, be like, Unc, Unc got a book scholarship for you. And you mess around, write a $10,000 check, $20,000 check, $50,000 check for the first semester or something for their family. So they can gain an academic scholarship. There's ways to give this money and help out your people with this money without just giving it away. You can bless people with it in so many different ways. Like Dakari Kofi said, friends starting a good business. He makes sure he emphasizes good business. Invest in them. And investing in them may not even be in giving them a lump sum, but investing in them may be paying for the classes they need to be able to run their business properly. Hello. Now they're not losing the loans that they, legitimately got that's building their credit. They're building their business credit. Yeah. Let them build with what they got, but you can invest in teaching them how to learn how to do that. That's one thing if anybody out there want to buy me anything, buy me a course that can teach me something I don't know. If you want to surprise me with something, buy me a course that teach me something that I don't know, because I'm going to attend it. Because if I don't know it and I want to learn it and it's already paid for, I'm there. I'm in there like swimwear. So if you are gifting or blessing somebody with an investment course, blessing somebody with a business course while they're trying to start a business, then that's an investment in them that's going to, reciprocate over and over and over again. It's going to keep flipping. That investment is going to flip itself because now, again, you didn't give them the fish. You taught them how to. You gave them an opportunity to learn how to deep sea it. So now they're not just standing on the shore catching one at a time. They out there getting the big boys. Still single lining it because it's them by themselves doing it, but they learned how to do it and got their weight up to where they can be in a position to get it big, to get the big fish. Invest in them that way. It's not about giving your money away. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel like, let's say there's certain changes in your lifestyle, right? If you feel like certain changes in your lifestyle will make certain people ask questions and be like, oh, what kind of moves you making over there? Be ready with a low-key response if you staying low-key. You know what I mean? Somebody be like, what you into? I'm just, into real estate. And then talk about something else. You're not lying to them. You are into real estate, but you into buying properties all across the globe. You know what I mean? But they don't need to know that if you don't want them to know that. If you feel like they're going to be the ones to ask questions, or you're not lying, but you don't owe anybody any details. You don't owe anybody any details. Only person you know owe some details to is your lawyer to make sure they can cover you in every way you trying to stay covered. Because client, attorney-client privilege, it go far. It go in the court all the way on up. All the way up. So you can divulge all that information you want to in regards to this particular subject with the right type of lawyer. Again, don't go get a family law practice lawyer and you trying to handle, corporate business. Does not compute. Yes, they know how they can be legally in the courtroom, but that don't mean you're going to get, Jeffrey Jordan to reincarnate to play Michael Jordan in the league. You're not doing that. So think about that. Have that response ready. And honestly, a lot of people, that respect it when someone is private with their money anyway. Some people be like, man, you smart. I need to follow that mode. You was smart to keep that on the hush. Because what it does is it shows that what's up, Ella Cupcake? It shows that you really worried about and serious about handling your business. I always talk about the difference between, cats and dogs and how they move. They both domesticated animals, but a cat, unless you got a bell on that cat, you won't even know where he at most of the time. But a dog, you're going to hear his ass. He talking too much. He, you know what I mean? When he drink his water, he lapping it up. Like, it's a bunch of stuff that dogs do that cats do the same stuff, but quietly. That's why they can, compare women to cat and men to dog. Besides the fact that the style we like and what we call their parts, you know what I mean? It's the reason why we refer to that, because women know how to move quietly in a real way. In a real way. It's scary even. It's scary. But if you study them, you can learn how to bubble and move quiet too in your own way. So pay attention to the people around you. I told you that earlier in the message. Pay attention to the people around you. So what did we talk about? We talked about trusting your instincts, knowing that it's a reason why you questioning these people because based off how they've been moving, right? So that's one thing. We also said your first responsibility is you. So what you gonna do? You gonna learn how to make sure this money is handled properly. You gonna make sure that you taken care of. You gonna make sure that your mentals are in the right place before you even get to sharing this information, right? You know, another thing we talked about is don't feel guilty about not sharing it if you choose not to, the information or the money. Don't feel guilt about it. You handling it, moving like a G, quiet like a G in lasagna, you know what I mean, for a reason. It's a reason why you doing it. But make sure you putting up those boundaries in the midst, because people go either have to respect your boundaries, you know, or move on because they're there to protect you. You put them up as walls to protect you. And no matter how people press them, they can only get over them if you allow it. People going to try to climb that wall all they want to get across is what they need. But if you shut them down, you keep keep putting that wall higher and higher. It's harder to climb. And they just decided, you know what, I'm not even going to try to cross that boundary. They got a wall up right now. What'd you say, McFadden Amber? There's nothing wrong with self-preservation. There's nothing wrong with making sure you good. Make sure you good first and foremost. Like I said, like in the poem, my poems say, like they say on the airplane, you got to check your mask first. Make sure you can breathe through all this first. How about that? Before you can put that gas mask on anybody else, you got to make sure that your mask works first. The bag don't inflate. Nobody really know how you breathing. They don't know how big breath you taking. Just make sure yours is working first, right? We are, you know, after we put up them boundaries, we talked about how you not obligated to share it all anyway. So what's the biggie? What's the biggie smalls? You're not obligated to share this money. People can call you what they call you, everything but a child of God. But again, and they be like, you stingy and am. He ain't give me no money and didn't. Ain't that what the kids say? Didn't. Was. You gave something to your other cousin. Did. Because they knew what to do with it. You know what I mean? Stand on it. Stand on your 10 toes, shoulders back, chin parallel to the ground, and be comfortable with when you take care of you first, when you is your first responsibility, that's how you stand anyway. You like, cool, I'm solid. My feet planted where I needed to be, my head on a swivel. I can see what I need to see. I can see what's coming at me because either I'm back against the wall and I'm watching, or whoever's got my 6, I believe in them enough that I can trust fall back, and I know I will still be able to stand up and fight the way I need to. In no way am I saying, like, don't rock with the people who you rock with. I'm just saying pay attention to everybody that's around you, because sometimes you rock with people that really ain't rocking with you the same way. Have you ever gone back and looked at some pictures from like a big special event, and you know what I mean? And you see people in the background and everybody's smiling, but one person ain't smiling in any pictures. Just that person, that lets you know that person ain't there for the best intentions. You know, they not happy with you at that moment. So you may be rocking with them in one way because y'all in the same place where it's celebratory for everybody else but them. And for whatever reason, they may not be happy. Either it's that moment or they're not happy for the moment. Either in the moment or for the moment. So again, pay attention to the people around you. That's another tidbit of something that can be done. Because again, you trust in your instincts. They're talking about like, well, why am I feeling this way? Don't be afraid of the way you feel. I just sang the hook to y'all just a minute ago by the group Sky. Open your heart and you see it's real. It's real love. Self-love, self-perseverance. You know what I mean? You got to preserve yourself, because if you're not here to take care of you, then you're not here to take care of them and help them. Just look at it like that. Know what you can and can't do. You know, in the end, you know, you're allowed to be both generous. You're allowed to be guarded, you know, because you don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody explanations. You don't owe them any of your money. Because even if y'all's twins, If the relative gave it to you and not your twin, it was for a reason. Whether you was the favorite or whatever, okay? And I don't owe anybody anything because this was a blessing for me. Now, how I use this blessing to bless others, then that's where my determination and judgment and things come from, I do suppose. But right now in this moment, I'm not judging myself for not giving you nothing. Why would I feel bad about that? If I'm questioning how you moving, If people don't show up any other time except for when they asking you for something, they not friends, they dependents. You're not uplifting me. You are depreciating my value with your presence. Whether it's the value of my bank account, whether it's the value of my energy, somewhere along the line, I am being depleted whenever you're around. What they say, the buck stops here, so do the $100,000 or the $1 million or whatever you're about to give to the people that you rock with. Whatever it is, the buck stops there. If you pay attention to those who move different and don't pay and they don't give a damn about what's going on in your world, like I request this from everybody. Next time you talk to somebody who you think moves like this, let them get everything out, be tuned in and you be chimed in when they talking. Let them get all that out. Then start a conversation about yourself. And don't stop talking. Don't let them talk about anything else. They be over there on their phone. They'll be like, oh, man, I miss my man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't let them tune out when it's your turn to dump on them. They done dumped all they needed to dump on you. It's like a beaker. It's a science project together. It's called chemistry, right? If we got chemistry, if you dump your beaker all in me, I should be able to dump mine all back in you. Ain't no pause in. I can dump my beaker. Give you that big old load. Eat a whole load of this beaker. I'm going to call it my beaker from here on out. No, but for real, though, like you should be able to go back and forth and create this chemistry if you truly have it. It should be room for them to pour into you at all times, and it should also be room for you to pour back into them. If they beaker is smaller, but somehow they filling yours all the way up, how? That means they continuously going back to refill to get you going. If theirs ain't big enough to receive what they just gave you plus yours. Think about that. Evaluate these people that are around you, right? Take your time. Let the dust settle. And when you're ready to share this bread, you will. If you ever feel ready, you'll know. And you'll know exactly who's it worth sharing with. If you give yourself the grace and the space to be able to trust your instincts, treat yourself first, don't feel guilty, put boundaries up, and don't feel obligated. If you don't do any of them, if you got a way to kind of maneuver them things in any combination of them, then I'm pretty sure that when it's time for you to decide whether you're going to share this money, you'll know what to do. All right? So that's it for today's episode. So I want to thank Suddenly Stacked and Stressed for writing in and for sharing this, because I'm pretty sure it's something that some people had a way, shape, form, or fashion, a way to relate to it, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there with those gimmies or can I's. The people, the gimmies and the can I's who always say, give me this or can I have that? So remember that your peace of mind is priceless. You can't put a price on what peace of mind is, right? So keep stacking, keep protecting that peace, right? And stay true to yourself, right? So until next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other. I'm 360 the Poet. I'm going to holler at y'all in a minute.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. High 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot702.5fm.com.